Okay, so let us start with the session. And today we are going to look at introduction to web element. Okay, introduction to web element. That is what we are going to study today. So first of all, we should understand that what is web element and what is everything, so that obviously we can handle them in a very effective way. Okay, so our need is to understand this thing first. Okay, so we'll start with the DOM. Okay, now what does mean by DOM? DOM means by document object model. Okay, document object model. It is actually an HTML page which appears inside your web browser. Okay, so whatever HTML page which is appearing inside your browser can be called as DOM. Okay, now this DOM is having multiple web elements. Okay, this DOM is having multiple web elements. For example, let's see. Okay, let's say I have this website over here with me. Let's say, okay, maybe HDFC Bank. Okay, so let us take an example of the HDFC Bank. So this is the website that we have with us. Okay, and whatever appearing inside this web browser can be called as a DOM, that is document object model. So we're not going in the in-depth definition of the DOM, but we just have to understand the overall scenario, that what is happening over here, and being an automation tester, what should we look at? Okay, while doing the manual testing. Okay, what you people usually do, let's say I have a use case where I need to test the entire things which are coming under the products. Okay, so under my use case I need to check whether saving accounts is working correctly or not, and the details are being shown correctly or not after clicking on this link. So these are the details, let's say. Okay, and there are several buttons, links, and maybe text and everything appearing over here on this web page. So I have to test the functional kind of things on this page. So what you do in terms of manual testing is you manually go on the products. You are going to click on the savings. Okay, you're going to click on the savings. After clicking on the saving, you're going to wait, and you're going to manually observe what all things are coming on the web page and what all things are not present, and according to that you are going to write your test cases. Right, this is what you're going to do. Let's say you are clicking on the login button, you are typing something, or maybe you are clicking on something, or maybe you are dragging and dropping everything. So there can be sorry, there can be n number of actions that you can actually perform on the DOM. So what are those actions? Okay, so first action is very famous, that is click. Okay, this is the action that we usually perform on a web page or DOM. Okay, then enter text. Okay, enter text, then click on link. Okay, maybe click on button. Let us call it as click on button. Right, so these are the manual actions I'm talking about. Okay, so these are the manual actions that we are going to perform on a DOM. Okay, what is the manual action? Click on button, enter text, click on link, select click on radio button maybe. Okay, click on radio button. Okay, and then also we have click on checkbox. Right, click on checkbox, then select from drop down. Right, then mouse over, and then right click, maybe right click. Then sometimes we use keyboard keys to navigate on your entire page, like tab. Okay, then maybe sometimes you drag and drop. Okay, maybe sometimes you click on image. Okay, maybe sometimes you click on a button and then a new window appears, or maybe you are maximizing the window. Okay, you're maximizing the window, you're closing the window, or maybe you are quitting all of those windows which are opened by you, quitting all of the windows that are opened by manual tester, right? So I'm writing a very precise statement over here, quitting all of the windows that are opened by the manual tester. Okay, now what are all actions that we can perform? You can say, let's say, getting text of web element, right? Means you want to read the text of the web element. In that case, obviously you can read by your eyes, you can see and you can write down what is the text. Maybe getting color of web element, right? So to which element I'm calling as web element? This apply online, this is one button and I'm calling it as web element. This is link, I'm calling it as web element. This is text, I'm calling it as web element. Okay, this is also a link, I'm calling it as web element. This is one link, I'm calling it as web element. This is button, and everything else that I'm seeing on this web page is a web element. Okay, so you should be very precise, and this is very easy. No, we don't want to make things complicated. So listen carefully that what I'm trying to say. So in general terms, all these elements are called as web elements, and whatever actions we are performing, we are listing down. Okay, we are talking about the manual actions. So we can get the color of the web element. We can see that what kind of color this web element is having. Let's say that your client is very precise about the colors, and he have mentioned all the colors that he want to use on his website. So being a developer or business owner or business provider, we should take care of the client's requirement, and we should display the element in that color only which client requires. Okay, so most of time, we have to test the colors also. We have to test the appearance of the button, position of the button, maybe name of the button. So what is the name of the button? Is it okay? Is it login? Is it click here, or is it something else? So that we need to test against the requirement. So whatever testing we are going to do is we are going to do against the requirement document, whether the things mentioned in the required document are exactly implemented on the web page or not. That is what the first task that we are going to test. Okay, so for testing that things, these are the manual actions, or maybe more than this one. We are going to perform this kind of actions on the web page and web elements. Okay, these are the manual actions. Now look at the Selenium, what Selenium people have done. So what they have done, they have simulated, or let's say automated, all of these actions, okay, that we can perform on particular DOM. Okay, now how they have automated all of these actions? So simply they have created methods to perform these operations. Okay, so they have created methods to perform these operations. Okay, now let us have a look at those methods. So let me quickly create a table over here so that you people can understand what is the difference between manual and automation, right? So here, let me mention one serial number and then manual actions, right? Manual actions that we are going to perform, and then Selenium methods, right? What Selenium people have done, they just have created methods to perform the actions for on your behalf. Okay, so being an automation tester, we should have an idea of what method is there for which kind of operation. Okay, so let me quickly copy these entire things over here. Okay, and then list me down them here. Okay, so you can see that these many actions are there, manual actions, and let us write down the methods related to those actions. Now click on button. For clicking on a button, we have a method called as click. Okay, this is the method. And next, for enter text, we have send keys. See, it is following the Java's naming convention. Okay, Selenium is following the Java's naming convention. That is why the method name will start with the small character and next consecutive words character should be capital. So Saint keys is the method which takes a string argument or maybe character sequence or string, whatever you call it as. Okay, then for clicking on link, we have a same method, that is click. This can be used to click on a link also. This can be used to click on radio buttons also. This can be used to click on checkboxes also. Let's say I want to select something from the drop down. Okay, now drop down elements are not conventional elements like text boxes where you can actually enter the value, but some of the other times they are elements where a list will be there inside the drop downs, and you have to choose one or maybe more than one element from the drop down. So there are two types of drop down web elements available in the world of computer and maybe web designing. First one is which one selects a single value, which allows you to choose a single value, and other is which allows you to choose multiple values from the drop down. So these kind of drop downs you can see over there. So if you want to select value from the drop down, obviously you have something different here, and this task can be performed by the actions class of Selenium. Okay, now Selenium have identified that array, this element is something different from other elements like text boxes and buttons and links and everything. So they have designed a separate class who can actually handle not actions class but select class. Okay, my bad, select class. So this is the select class in a Selenium which can be used to select values from the drop down. Okay, we are going to have a look at that also in coming future. Okay, now let's say I have to hover my mouse pointer on particular element. Let's say in case of this HDFC Bank's example, I'm just hovering this mouse pointer on products and this list is populating. And can you see after hovering on each and every menu, a sub menu is appearing with some images and some content. Okay, so that is mouse hover action. And for mouse hovering, Selenium have designed actions class. Okay, it is also a Selenium's class to simulate or to automate the mouse actions. Okay, then right click is also a mouse action. That is why they have created actions class over here, and we can use this actions class to simulate the mouse keys. Let's say left key, right key, or maybe scroll and mouse hovering and everything that we can do using the actions class. Now if I want to hit a tab button or maybe shift button or maybe caps lock on or maybe num lock on off or maybe take screenshot or everything, for that purpose I have to use robot class, because Selenium doesn't have a provision to hit or enter the keys, but there is one way also. We are going to look at it in coming future. Okay, next we have a drag and drop, that is also a mouse action, so we can use actions class over here. Okay, now click on image, again we have a click method to maximize the window. Now this doesn't have anything to do with the web elements, because web elements are going to contain inside the DOM. Sorry, web elements are going to be contained inside the DOM, that is document object model. So inside browser window we are going to see the web elements, but what about the maximizing window? So we are going to handle the window and not the web element over here. So we have a method to maximize the window over here. Okay, maximize, this is the name of method. Then for closing the window, we have close a method. Okay, then quitting all of the windows, we have quit method. Then getting text of a web element, we have get text method. Okay, then getting color of web element, we have also different methods like get attribute or maybe get CSS value. These are the methods that we have. So these are the methods that Selenium have created to simulate or to automate the actions that we want to perform on different web elements. Now you might be wondering that these methods are written by the Selenium, right? But this method have to be written somewhere else, right? Means some class or maybe some interface or maybe some abstract class might have defined these methods, right? So we need to have a look at the class or maybe the interface or maybe the abstract class which has all of these methods. Okay, so let us have a look where these methods are actually belonging. Okay, so we will have a look or have a focus on the web element methods mainly over here. So what are the web elements over here? Button, text, link, radio button, checkbox, and then drop down, and maybe image, or maybe not maximizing closing window, quitting all window, but getting the text of the web element, getting the color of the web element. So these are the methods belonging to the web element, right? So what what Selenium have done, they have created one interface called as web element. What is the name of web interface? Web element. So this is Java interface. Okay, and in this interface they have written these methods. Okay, now different browser drivers are implementing these methods so that they can perform these operations on a different browsers. So why they have created interface and why they have not created class? Okay, let's say I want to click on a button. So handling the button may be different, may have a different operation, or maybe deal with different scenarios or flows on a different browsers. So I cannot say that just as I have given the example of Selenium RC, why Selenium RC have been get out of the market, because it was injecting the JavaScript directly into the browser. And sometimes this may happen that version compatibility issues were there, or maybe some JavaScript won't work some with some or the other of the version of the web browsers. So this was the main problem over there. So that is why they have come up with the solution of Selenium WebDriver, and this is the main reason over here that why they have created web element. Okay, so that they can implement all of these methods as per the browser's requirements. Okay, so ultimately, just to separate the browser to browser compatibility of these methods, they have created web element as an interface, and every browser driver have implemented these methods in their own way. Okay, so we are going to have a look at that interface, how does it looks. Okay, so simply let me create an instance so that we can quickly jump on the web element. Okay, so here I'm going to write web element, and that's it. So let us import this one. Okay, now control click on this and you will go to the web element interface. Can you see over here? This interface extends search context and text screenshots, so we don't have anything to deal with these two right now. So we are going to have focus on this web element. Can you see this is a public interface, web element, okay? And its parent interfaces are search context and text screenshot. Okay, now let us try to read the description of this web element interface. What it says, it represents an element, an HTML element, okay? You should be very precise while reading. It represents an HTML element. So strictly whatever element defined, whatever element is created using HTML tags, to those elements this web element is referring. Okay, generally all interesting operations to do with the interacting with a page will be performed through this interface. Now whatever actions or operations that you want to perform on a web page, all those operations can be performed using the methods of this interface. So all method calls will do a freshness check to ensure that the element reference is still valid. So each and every time when you are going to invoke some method of this interface, at that point of time, it is going to do or perform the freshness check to check whether the element that you are trying to operate upon is actually present on the page. let's say that you want to click on products and products is not there on the page. Okay, products is not there on the web page. At that point of time, your test case will get failed. Why? Because the element is itself not present, or maybe not appeared, or maybe hidden, or there may be any reason. So in that case, you cannot click on the products. So for that purpose, WebElements, every method is going to freshens up your whatever application is there and whatever web element you are trying to look for, and it will get the element after its presence is been tested by them. So ultimately, web element methods we are interested more in. So let us have a look at those methods. Can you see here? It is a default click method and its return type is void. It doesn't take any argument. Okay, so what this method does, so let us list down those methods. Okay, so let me give a heading over here, methods of web. This is very important, guys. Okay, so listen it carefully. This is very deep and thorough things that we are discussing over here just by traversing the interfaces of Java and Selenium, sorry. Okay, the first method we have is click. Okay, and as we know that this is an abstract method. Okay, now what this method does, this method clicks the element. If this causes a new page to load, you should discard all references to this element, and any further operations performed on this element will throw a stale element reference exception. So we're going to talk about this later. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand that what click method does. So click method will simply can be used to click on particular web element, including button, link, image, radio button. Okay, radio button, or maybe checkboxes, etc. So whatever objects we have clickable to perform click operation on those elements, we can obviously use the click method. Easy. Next we have this is the click method. Okay, then we have submit method. Okay, if this current element is a form, okay, or an element within a form, then this will be submitted to the remote server. If this causes the current page to change, then this method will block until the new page is loaded. Okay, now what submit method does is, let's say that our page is opening, our HTML page is opening some form. So you want to submit that form by clicking on OK or by clicking on submit. So instead of using the method click to click on that particular submit button or OK button, you can directly use the submit method over here. Okay, so we have second method as submit, sorry, S should be so small. Okay, submit method can be used to submit the forms. Okay, in a single statement we are writing the description. Then we have send keys method. Okay, and it takes a character sequence, that is an array of characters. So it is taking a string as an input so that it can type that string on your behalf in the web element. So to type into the web element, we have method called as send keys, and it takes as character sequence array, let's say keys. Okay, now what this method does is it can type in text boxes, right? Text boxes, and then maybe text areas, etc. Okay, so we have text boxes or maybe text areas where we can actually type whatever we want to type. Let's say you are typing your username manually on the web page, so that is a text box. So rather than doing it manually, you can perform the same thing using the send keys method of web element interface. Okay, next we'll have a look at next method that we have. that is clear. Okay, clear. So let's say sometimes there is a requirement that you have written some username, and after refreshing your page, username whatever you have entered remains on that particular field. So let's say if you want to clear that text field or text area, obviously you can use this clear method. So it can be used to clear text fields or text areas. Okay, so wherever we have left something typed, we just want to clear that thing up, so we can obviously use this method clear. Okay, what is the next method that we have is a get tag name. Okay, get tag name. Now let me explain about this method, get tag name. This is the method that we have. Now can you see over here in a HTML DOM, if you right click on this page and click on inspect, you will find that the source code will appear over here of this page. Okay, and here HTML document comprises of different tags. Okay, so HTML is a tag based language where everything is written inside tags. Okay, tag and data. So ultimately, if you want to get name of particular tag, then obviously you can use this method to have the name of the tag. Okay, so it can be used to get the name of the tag. Okay, simple. So if you have a close look at this method doesn't take any argument, but it returns string. Why? Because tag name can be given to you. Okay, that is automation tester in terms of string. So you can have this string and you can do whatever operations you want to do. Then we have get attribute method. Okay, it returns a string and it takes a string argument. Okay, now we will talk about the attribute also. Okay, so let us write this method over here, get attribute. Okay, this is the method that we have, and it is used to get the attribute of specific tag mentioned as parameter. Okay, so what this method does is, let us have, okay, get the value of the given attribute of the element. Okay, now whatever attribute we want for that particular element, obviously we are going to get it using this method. So we'll return the current value even if this has been modified after the page has been loaded. Okay, now let us see what is mean by attribute. So can you see over here, this is the div tag. Okay, div tag, and it is having an attribute called as class. Okay, and then style we have. So if you want to get these kind of attributes of the wave element, then obviously we can use the get attribute method. So how the HTML wave element actually looks. Okay, so it looks like this: angular bracket and then tag name and then attribute 1 equals to in double quotes value 1. Okay, so attributes are usually comes in the key value pair. Then attribute 2 is having some value. Okay, and then we can have lots of attributes over here. So as many attributes as developer wants to put in, you obviously can use those attributes, value, and so on. So this list can be a bigger one. Then here we'll have actual text which is going to be displayed on the web page, and then we are going to close that tag name by using slash. Okay, angular bracket and then backward slash that we have, and then tag name. Okay, so this is what a HTML tag actually looks like. So being an automation tester, we should able to read all these tag names carefully. We should understand the relationship between tag names and the attributes and the values of the attributes. So while finding wave elements, we should find the very unique value of that web element. Because see, whenever we are going to apply a automation script on our web page, then we should not find a locator which is matching to multiple web elements, because Selenium will get confused on which element I have to click. So whatever element comes first in the hierarchy, it is going to click on that particular element. So you should be very precise while writing the locators for your web elements that you are interested in. So we'll see that how we can write the locators. But before that, we are going to cover up all the methods that are inside the web element interface. Okay. Get attribute is there. Then we have is selected. Now this method will check whether a checkbox or radio button is selected by someone else or not. So if it is selected, then it is going to return Boolean, that is true or false. So then we have is enabled. Let's say some of the web elements present on the web page, but they are not enabled. So they may be disabled. So whenever you might have seen that scenario where a line comes, okay, I accept this agreement and so on, okay, or I agree to this agreement and so on, and then obviously you can if you check that checkbox of I agree, then only you are going to see the next button. Okay, unless and until you click on the I agree or I accept, you cannot see that OK button or maybe next button highlighted. So those elements are present on the web page, but they are not enabled right now. So after performing some or the other event, they are going to be enabled. So before that, they are disabled. So if you want to check a state of the particular web element, whether is it enabled or disabled, okay, in that case we can use this method, is enabled. Then we have get text method. Okay, now get text method will return a string. It doesn't take any argument, and it will return the text of the web element. Let's say I want to get a text of this web element. Let's say I want to get a text of this element, for example, Premier. So if I want to take a text of this web element in my program, so obviously I should use get text method. Which method? Get text method. So I'm just writing down over here, get text. Okay, and this method can be used to get the text of web element, including label, link, and maybe etc. Okay, it's not cable, it's label. Okay, label, links, and etc. So maybe text or passages, also text, paragraphs, etc. So if you want to get a text of something from the web page, then obviously we can use this method, and it returns string. Okay, it returns string. Then we have next method called as find elements. This is the most important and most used method. Okay, find elements and then find element. We have these two methods over here. So next method we have is find element. Find element. Okay, and this method's return type is web element. Can you see over here? Web element. And it takes an instance of the by class. Which class? By class. Don't bother about the classes. We are going to have look at them. I guess the power is failed.